Are you constantly on the go? Find it hard to sit still? Trying to keep yourself busy all the time? Always doing rather than being? If so, then this message is for you. Collectively at the moment, I'm getting massive amounts of messages that we need to slow down. We need to rest. We need to rejuvenate for the next steps in our journey. And we can't do that if we're constantly busy, because we're actually only busy in life because our mind is so busy. And we're avoiding what's inside. This is why we distract ourselves with extra hours of work, extra hours in the gym, constantly doing, and not giving ourselves time to sit down and rest. Because we're afraid of our thoughts. We're afraid of facing what's inside. And we're afraid that if we're not busy all the time, we're going to get nothing done. But this is the opposite. When we actually slow down, we tend to get a lot more done and a lot quicker. My name is Angela Keary. I'm a feminine empowerment coach and I specialise in healing after narcissistic abuse. I am being bombarded with messages at the moment to slow down. And it wasn't just me initially. My friends were getting messages to slow down as well. And I didn't even think anything about myself until I've been getting these messages one after the other. We need to slow down. This is what winter is all about. Winter is about hibernation. Winter is about rest after the busy year behind us, but also about preparing for the year ahead, for the summer, for the spring. But I'm getting this message as well that we're constantly creating a busy life because our mind is so busy, and we're afraid to sit down and face and dig out the shit that's in our mind. We're avoiding. This is what we do. We distract ourselves with work or with exercise or with constantly doing, because we feel we're in a rush. And this is the thing when we're on the spiritual journey. We forget to have patience with ourselves. We forget to do that rest. And on this journey, being is just as productive as doing. It's in those moments of pause that we can measure how far we've come. We can rest our bodies, our minds, and our souls for the next steps and better prepare ourselves. This is where all the magical ideas come in. You can't really, if you're constantly busy in the mind and constantly busy all the time in your life, you're never going to get the time to actually create new ideas because you're just constantly distracted. And this is the thing with the busy life, busy mind kind of concept, is we think that, we have no time to let anything else into our lives. We're too busy. And when we're in this busy, rushing around the place thing, we end up struggling. We end up kind of falling apart, collapsing, delaying ourselves even more. And we end up creating a busier life. So we think we don't have time for this, we don't have time for this, we don't have time for this. Then we end up having less time for even the stuff we have because this is the energy we're attracting in. We're attracting in more and more to keep us stuck. But this is kind of semi-deliberate as well because we're afraid to let more in. We're comfort zoning in this busy lifestyle, and we're not giving ourselves enough time to look after ourselves. And this is the thing. This is normally when I get a message to slow down, I don't listen to the pre-messages, the nudges, and it comes in with a big slap. Literally, I've over the last few years, I've been literally forced to stop. You know what I mean? I'll describe a few things in a minute, but I've been forced to stop. If we don't listen to the mini messages, which are the ones I'm getting now, thankfully, I'm actually being pre-prepared for my stop, and I've been slowing down all week in preparation for my next few days because I'm going to have to stop completely. And I know, and thankfully I am prepared for this because I've been literally not listening to the science before and literally got slapped in the face more or less to stop. And I describe certain things I'm such a fast-paced person. This was learned behavior, right? From my dad. Literally walk fast, I talk fast, I eat fast. I'm fucking like this. When I was working in factories, I was like a fucking magician. I was going around fucking Speedy Gonzales for all the world. Do you know what I mean? I'm just fast-paced. It's just who I was. And I don't like that part of myself because it hurts you. Like literally, I was rushing out the door one day, I came down on my deck, and I came down on my came down off the deck, and it's a high deck, like, and I came down on my ankle and I heard a pop. This was back in 2019, and that was the first time I was ever really guided to slow down. And I used to be rushing everywhere, just bullheaded rushing everywhere. It was dangerous. And that's when I got the wake-up call. But a lot of the times now in my journey, I've noticed I want to be 10 steps ahead. I feel like that I'm delayed. And it's like, I need to be over here, I need to be doing this, I need to be doing that, I need to be over here. And I've been literally stopped in my tracks by the universe to fucking slow the fuck down to a stop. And like, you know, this happened last year when I actually had to get a tooth pulled. And getting a tooth pulled as an adult, it's fucking horrible. You know, it actually really slows you down. Like, I walk fast, and even walking around my house, every time I fucking put a foot on the ground, my whole body would vibrate with the pain in my gums after my tooth being pulled. And I was like, literally, I had to start walking around the house like a stoned hippie. You know, just floating along, like. Same with eating. I used to eat like a fucking animal. And now I had to literally be so mindful with every bite I took. Same with talking, because my mouth had gone so numb. When I spoke after getting the tooth pulled, I kept biting my tongue and I kept kind of slurring. And I was like, Jesus, this is the universe really telling me to stop. I couldn't do exercise for a few days either. You know what I mean? I couldn't do my normal routine. You know, and I couldn't even go and do my videos because apparently, you know, you need to rest your mouth, you need to rest your gums, you just need to kind of, it's like fucking nearly bed rest after getting a tooth pulled as an adult. But I was warned, I was literally just not even warned. I didn't listen to the previous messages, and the universe literally made me stop, forced me to stop. So this is what I'm trying to say, is that if we don't listen to this guidance to slow down, especially through the winter months, we're going to be forced to stop. You know, and this is the thing, like we end up, we think that we don't have enough time in the day. So we rush, and we rush, and we rush, and we rush, and we rush. And then what happens? We end up hitting obstacles, we fuck up, we injure ourselves, we have accidents, and we end up delaying what we're trying to get to. And I've noticed this yesterday, I've got this real energy out lately now, before I started getting these messages of, geez, I have to get this done, I have to get this done, I have to get this done, and I have to get this done yesterday. It's like, you know, literally, I have no time. Like, and I've been very good over the last, say 6 months anyway, that like I've slowed down. I've slowed down enough, and I've actually ended up having more time. And the reason I've had more time is because I get up earlier. Getting up that extra couple of hours earlier, getting my stuff done early in the day, means I don't have to rush. And that's the thing, like, you know, I could, like, this is why my mind was kind of racing lately, or, you know, I'm getting these messages of being too busy, is because, you know, I have my day organized in such a way that when I'm finished, I'm finished. So me rushing in those designated hours isn't going to make a difference. It isn't, like, you know, if I have something to do after those hours, me rushing within those hours is not going to affect the appointment I have later, because I have this routine, this schedule. But me trying to rush through things, and I find this as well, if I'm running around the house trying to get things done, rushing out the door, I fucking walk into walls, you know, I'm hitting myself off stuff, I'm constantly dropping things, you know, I'm fucking clumsy, I'm getting injured, or you have these accidents, this kind of stuff is happening. And you're like, fucking hell, this is delaying me. The more I rush, the more I'm busy, the slower my fucking outcome is. And this is what we forget. Being is as productive as doing. When we take that pause, when we take things slow, when we give ourselves that extra time, instead of saying, oh fuck, I'm rushing out the door now, I'm going to get caught behind the tractor, and you get caught behind the tractor, leave 15 or 20 minutes earlier. Organize, you're like, wake up that 20 minutes earlier. Do you get me? Organize it so you don't have to rush. And what I find is when we calm our minds, things become effortless. So what is the point in rushing? If you do stuff slowly and properly, it's done. If you try and do it quickly and awkwardly, it takes you fucking 10, 15 minutes longer, because you're fucking it up because your mind is like not actually concentrating. Do you know? So ask yourself, what are you actually distracting yourself from? Because usually a busy life, as in excessively busy, is because you're busy in here. What are you trying to avoid? Why are you afraid to rest? If you rest, it's not going to actually delay you. It's going to propel you forward. People don't understand this. Resting, being is just as productive as doing. I don't know how many times I have to say this to people. Being is doing. When we're on this journey, we need that rest. We're going, not only are we pursuing our life purpose or, busy in our lives in the external, we're going through intense healing, trauma healing, generations of trauma healing. We're curse breaking. We're doing all that internal work, and we're not listening to our bodies. We're not listening to these signs. We're doing astral work our souls are always busy. We're not getting that full rest. And then we're just constantly doing all the time. We're going to keep doing until we end up getting injured. And this is what happens. This is what happened to me over and over again. I was delayed so much that I had to stop. I was forced to stop. I was forced to slow down. I was forced to slow down to a complete stop/snail's pace with everything. With my speech, with my walking, with my eating, with everything. And I find it so difficult because I talk to myself an awful lot. And when I'm talking to myself after I lost that, or I got that tooth out, trying to slow down my speech. Like you probably notice with my videos, I kind of get excited, and that's the thing. I get excited, and I'm talking a mile a minute. Like, so when I lose a tooth, it's literally trying to talk slow for me is so difficult. Trying to eat slowly is so difficult. Trying to walk slowly, trying to do something slowly when you're so used to doing something so fast is really difficult. But I'm being taught to do that again because I've started to speed up again. And you see, I'll go through those slow times, and then I'll start going fucking fast again. So it defeats the purpose. And now I'm being warned again over the last few weeks, I've been guided again over the last few weeks, that it's time to rest. It's time to slow down. And there's a potential for me having to get another tooth out today, and I'm going to have to literally stop for the next few days. Do you know what I mean? And that's fucking scary because I'm a fast-paced person as well. And when we're so used to being busy and when we're so used to doing all the time, it is so hard to take that rest. It's so hard to take that step back and kind of rejuvenate. But we really, really have to do that. This is the message I'm getting collectively. As I said, I thought it was just my friend getting the messages. But now that I'm getting these messages louder and louder and louder, and I heard it from a different source as well, we need to slow down. We do. If you don't slow down, something is going to go wrong. I'm sending you this message as a way of trying to prevent anything from happening. Because I know from past experiences, when you don't listen to the messages to slow down, you will be forced to stop. You will get injured, or you will end up having an accident or something. God forbid, touch wood. You know what I mean? Just listen to these messages. If you're constantly busy, stop. Stop for 5 minutes and rest. Pause. Relax. Prepare for the next step. Rest your body. Stop overdoing it. You know what I mean? Say no to things that don't serve you. If you're tired from overworking, take the time in the evening to rest. Don't be running around after everyone else. Start looking after your mind and your body, because you need to quiet your mind in order to quiet your life. And you will not be able to welcome in abundance into your life if you're constantly living in this busy. Because the more busy you think you are, the more shit is going to come into your life where it make you even more busy. You know what I mean? And that's not what life is supposed to be about. If you take that pause to slow down, just take a break, plan your next steps, prepare your life better, schedule a routine better, get up that little bit earlier, go to bed that hour earlier. You know what I mean? This is all really good to help you to organize your life so that you're not constantly doing all the time. We need that pause. We need that rest. You cannot be your best self if you end up on the verge of collapse. If you constantly say, I need to be busy all the time, what are you avoiding? If you can't sit down for 5 minutes, that's avoidance of what's in your mind. That's avoidance of your inner healing. And that's what it is. When we're constantly distracting ourselves with either work or doing, or even television or training or, you know, exercise or any kind of thing to distract us from our internal world. This is avoidance. You're deliberately being busy as a way of avoiding the things that you're afraid to heal. You're afraid to rest. And you see, when we're in this time of rest, we're afraid of what's on our mind because our mind is so busy. But when you actually sit and rest, your mind becomes less busy. It's like doing a list, you know what I mean? If you do a list of stuff, like if you've got so much on your mind, this is great. I mean, with anything in your life, it doesn't have to be a shopping list. What's on your mind? Get it out on a piece of paper. Just get it out on a piece of paper. Because I find that so much, like, you know, when it's going around like this all the time, you're constantly bombarded and you're like, oh my God, I'm so stressed, I have to get this done. You know, and you're going fucking crazy. But if you write down on a piece of paper, you're like, okay, that doesn't look that bad. And it's out of your head. Do you get me? So if you take those pauses in between to get the stuff out of your head, then your life won't be as busy. And then you get to enjoy the doing more because you're at peace and you're resting in between. So take this time to rest. And the winter months are so important for resting as well. This is why winter happens, is so that we can hibernate, is so that we can rejuvenate, is so that we can prepare ourselves for the next steps in our journey, for the next year ahead. So take this time to rest and rejuvenate. Take this time to slow the fuck down. You are only you're creating this busy life for yourself because your mind is so busy. Rest your mind, come to a sense of peace, then the next steps are going to be fucking easy. And your life becomes less busy. Because the slower you do something, not the slower you do something, but the more mindfully, peacefully you do a certain task, the quicker it gets done. Whereas if you try and do it busy, forcefully, aggressively, you know, you end up kind of hurting yourself, getting injured, or, you know, failing, or, you know, making a mistake and then having to start again. You're delaying yourself by rushing. And I know this sounds weird, but you are actually delaying yourself by rushing around the place. If you slow down, things actually move quicker. They really do. And easier. Smoothlier. I love these new words I keep creating. But yeah, smoother. Words are these... Things will get a lot easier when we slow down. Being is as productive as doing. And this is a collective message at the moment, so please, people, listen to me. Rest, rejuvenate, slow down, relax. Open your life up to opportunities. Because quietening that mind in those moments of pause will actually make your next steps run more smooth and more quicker. Quickly, I don't know. This English language is evading me right now. But anyway... So take this time to rest, listen to the messages from the universe. If you're getting guidance to slow down, like that, before I finish. So certain messages you might get as in slowing down. Traffic jams, diverted traffic, detours, certain things that are guiding you to have patience. So something being slow, like something buffering, like your movie is slow to buffer or something like that. This is teaching you patience. This is teaching you to slow down. So don't be, like if you're stuck behind a tractor, don't be in such a rush to overtake that tractor. Take it as a message that you need to just be calm. Take it handy. Like I used to be I'd overtake that tractor before I'd even look practically. Do you know, because I'd be in such a rush to go anywhere. Now I'm stuck behind something, I'm like, look, the universe is telling me to pause. The universe is telling me to slow down. I need to slow down. So I just drive slow. You get there eventually. I'm actually leaving the house 15 minutes earlier anyway, just in case that I do run into something like this. So prepare yourself. Get up that hour earlier. Be more prepared. Quiet your mind, quiet your soul, quieten your life. Your life will become less busy if you actually slow down. And that's it. Because your busy mind is creating your life being extra busy. You rushing around the place is creating more obstacles and more busyness. Whereas if you take a moment to assess your situation, take that extra hour in the morning, do things more mindfully, more slowly, more easily, and things will get done a lot quicker. And your life will open up. I find now that I've slowed down that I get things done quicker. I get more done. I'm up earlier in the morning. I get so much done now before the afternoon. And that's it. And I've done it. And I love, the reason I get up earlier now is because I like to pot around. I like to do things in such a way that if something does come up in the middle of me doing something, I can do that and I'm still not late. Do you get me? So, you know, when you slow down, when you do things more mindfully, if an obstacle does come in, it's like, grand, I have loads of time. Loads of fucking time. And it's weird concept, but the slower we go, the quicker we go. But the quicker we go, the slower we go. Rushing around actually delays. But being in the moment, pausing in between, resting your body and preparing for the next step means that you will actually get there quicker. So listen to your body, listen to those messages from the universe, and slow down. Slow down over the next couple of months, rest and rejuvenate, and prepare for the magic ahead. This is where the magical ideas come in. This is where you get the ideas, the inspiration for the next steps in your journey. So trust in these moments of pause, because they will get you further along than rushing around every day. So thank you so much for listening, and I really hope this resonates. If it does, please like and share, and please subscribe to my channel so I can reach as many people as possible. And if you'd like help on your journey, please book me for a discovery call today, and I would love nothing more than to help you on your path.